Yo, YouTube, what's happening? Data Rip one coming at you with another league update / fight review video. As usual, man, it's been a great one. We've had some great fights go down, Sunday night fights and in between the week. Very excited to say that we got some veterans that are starting to trickle back in. AC Corners made his return. Fight Night Swanus is back. Big Locks is back after a little hiatus. I had some internet problems. So, you know, things are good, man. Things are good. No real updates to talk about. Let's see. I know Militia Matic had a suggestion for the league. I can't remember what it was. I was pretty hammered last night when he said it. So yeah, we'll come back to that if I remember throughout this video. But you know, as usual, we're gonna go ahead and get into the Sunday night fights that went down. Then we'll get into some fights that went on through the week, and then we will tuck at the league ladder, and then we will move on to next Sunday night fights, which is tomorrow. So first fight that went down is for the WBC World Championship. And that is the newly crowned Turnip 3000 in his first test since winning the WBC Championship. Goes up against Doc motherfucking Doser. The man is no joker. So this should be a great fight. So meet me back here in just 0.5 seconds and now we will get into that fight. Alright? Alright. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Turnip versus Doc Doser for the WBC. Everybody knows that Turnip 3000 was able to take out Louisiana for the WBC Championship. He is, you know, proving that he's a decent fighter. So, you know, shout out to Turnip. And in this fight, he put on a great performance against Doc Doser. You know, Doc Doser is a great outside fighter. He's great at timing, great at counter punching. And both of these guys are. So it was really, in this fight, it was, you know, who was gonna get the fight the way they wanted. You know what I mean? Who was gonna force the other one to come out of the way that they fight and come forward and bring pressure. And you know, Turnip 3000 was able to do that against Doc Doser, even though this fight was so close that Doc Doser could have won that way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Doc Doser comes out, he wins the first, he wins the second. Turnip 3000 wins the third, catches a knockdown in the third. And a lot of times these knockdowns can be so critical in a close fight. But let's go ahead and move on. Doc Doser wins the fourth, Turnip wins the fifth and the sixth. Doc Doser wins the seventh and the eighth. Turnip wins the ninth, catching another knockdown in the ninth. Doc Doser wins the 10th and 11th. Turnip wins the 12th. But the two knockdowns just too much for Doc Doser to overcome, and he ends up becoming the loser by decision to Turnip 3000 to retain his WBC Championship. 14-12, 14-12, 13-13. This fight definitely could have been a draw, but like you said, there's no draws in Fight Night Champion, and with those two knockdowns, that was the deciding factor. And Turnip 3000 is still your WBC champion. So congratulations to both fighters. And you know, good shit. Moving on to the WBO. And of course, your WBO champion at the moment, Dave the Rip One, yours truly, your boy. Now I try to be a fighting champion, man, and I try to be a person that's not going to take easy fights to defend their belt. But with that being said, man, there was just no options for me this week, man. You know, Beach Cruiser was at the #1 spot. I definitely wanted to give Beach Cruiser a title shot because in a league fight before this happened, he defeated me before I went on to win the WBO championship. So not only, you know, did I want to rectify that, but Beach Cruiser is a great fighter, and I think that he's a very underrated fighter. And you know, I wanted to get in and have a great match with him, and you know, not only rectify that loss, but put it out there that, you know, the dude has skills. But Beach Cruiser lives in a different time zone, so the next guy down the list was Big Lokes 83. I knew that would be a great fight for you guys to watch. It's been a fight that has not went down yet between me and Big. You know, both of us have been pretty much dominant in the league, and our resumes speak for ourselves. You know, that would have been a tremendous fight. Unfortunately, Big Lokes was having some problems with his internet, so you know that fight was not able to go down. And the next fighter down the list was ESP, España Armada. So I had no choice but to go ahead and, you know, give him the match, simply because I had to get a title shot done. You know what I mean? It was already like Monday, not Sunday. I win the first, the second, and the third. I think I catch a knockdown in the second or the third. I win the fourth, I win the fifth, I win the sixth. But 6 rounds into the fight, you know, I'm starting to think that I could put this guy away, and he switches his game plan up, man. He comes out and he almost catches me slipping. I gotta be honest here. I was not expecting that. You know, the dude stamina fights, man. Either he runs and, you know, he tries to let you throw yourself out so he can come back and get you in the 8th or 9th, or apparently now he's going to spam to the body. So he wins the 7th round with a knockdown. He wins the 9th. I come back and win. Wait, he wins the 7th and the 8th with a knockdown. I win the 9th. He wins the 10th, 11th, and the 12th. But the work that I had put in earlier in the fight, too much to come back from. So 114 to 111, your winner by decision, Dave the Rip One. Definitely would have liked to win that by KO, simply because I know that I'm a better fighter than him. But with the tactics that he employed here, you know, it was smart on his part, I guess. So you know, good try and good fight. Moving on to the IBF. Now the next fight, and easily the most exciting fight of the night, the most action-packed fight of the night, is for the IBF Championship. Your newly crowned IBF champion, Doc Comster, taking out NS Houston to become the IBF champion after winning, it was like 4 consecutive league fights to become the #1 contender, or the #3 contender, or something like that. Regardless of what contender he was, he got the title shot against NS Houston by the IBF. And stop texting me, I'm trying to do a video right now, man. He won the IBF championship, and his first defense going up against Sluncut 199. Now both of these guys, you know, I feel are very underestimated in the ring, in the league. I mean, both of these guys, you know, just get at you fighters, man. Both of these guys don't go for the decision, they go for the knockout. And while it's not always the smartest move in these fights, it's definitely, you know, respectable and definitely more exciting than some of these fights that we've seen. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Just like I said, both of these guys come out from the gate ready to fight. And Sluncut starts off strong. He comes out, wins the first, second, and the third. But your boy Doc Comster comes back in great fashion. I was looking for a better word there, but it is what it is. Doc Comster comes out in the 4th, scores a knockdown, comes out in the 5th and says, "Can I have another, bitch?" Knocks his ass down again in the 5th round. Wins the 6th round, so Doc Comster is looking pretty right now, sitting pretty going into the 7th round against Sluncut, knowing he has put his man down twice, and he has another round on top of that. Sluncut has 3 rounds, but no knockout rounds. Both gets an extra point for the 2 knockdowns. So going into the 7th, Doc Comster pretty confident, and you know, might have got caught slipping because Sluncut says, "Okay, bitch, you want to play? Let's play." Comes out, puts Doc Comster on the canvas twice in the 7th round, and in the 8th round, Sluncut says, "I'm done with you. I want to be the champion, so I'm putting your ass down." Sluncut gets another knockdown in the 8th round to defeat Doc Comster to become the new IBF champion by way of KO. You can't argue with those results. Very good fight to both gentlemen. Very action-packed fight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next fight that I have for you guys is the return of Big Lokes. My bad, man. My bad. Big Lokes 83. Had some internet problems, but finally back. And he takes on Pity Castro, one of the newer members of the league. I've been preaching about this guy being elite, Pity Castro. I've had several matches with him before. You can check out my head-to-head matches with him on my channel if you like. You know, the dude is a very solid boxer. So when I saw this come up on YouTube, I was like, oh snap. So I went and watched the fight, and it was a great fight, man. Pity Castro at points giving Big Lox everything that he can handle and then some. Even putting Big Lox on the canvas one time. But let's go ahead and look at how this fight went down. Big Lox comes out in the first, wins it. Pity Castro, like I said, hits that knockdown in the second round. Big Lox comes back and wins the third round. I think he catches a knockdown for himself in the third round. Pity Castro comes back and wins the fourth. Big Lox wins the fifth and sixth. Pity Castro wins the seventh. Big Lox wins the eighth. Big Lox wins the ninth, catches a knockdown in the ninth. Wins the 10th to become winner by decision. Big Lox 83. 92, 95, 92, 95, 91, 96. Now these scorecards right here don't look like, you know, it was much of a fight, but as you guys can see, if you watch this whole fight the whole way through, this was a very competitive fight, man. Both of these guys going at it, both of these guys with great combinations, both of these guys great counter punches. So a very exciting fight to watch and very entertaining fight to watch. So I got to give props out to both gentlemen, Big Lox 83 and Pity Castro, for putting on a great fight. And I wish that every league fight could be this close and this entertaining. So good shit. Moving on. And the next fight that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, a rivalry that goes back since the start of the league and before. One of the greatest rivalries in Fight Night Champion. Two of the greatest fighters to ever grace a Fight Night Champion boxing ring. AC Carnage going up against Fight Night's finest once again. Both of these guys have been multi-time champion, not only in Fight Night but in the league. Both of these guys have been WBC champion. AC Carnage has been an IBF champion. Fight Night's finest has been an IBF, WBO, and WBC, and at one time holding all three of those consecutively to be the unified, undisputed Fight Night champion, middleweight champion in the old league. I think I might have messed that up, but hey, it is what it is. Both of these guys beasts, and both of these guys went at it several times before, and it's always a great fight. So let's go ahead and get into the action, man. Fight Night's finest comes out, wins the first. AC Carnage for a stretch of 3 rounds, including a knockdown round. Wins the second, wins the third with that knockdown I just said, and wins the fourth. Fight Night's finest coming back like he always does. Wins the fifth and the sixth. AC Carnage wins the seventh. And then Fight Night's finest comes back and wins the eighth. Catches a knockdown in the ninth and catches a knockdown in the 10th to be your winner by decision, 92 to 95. Sorry about that little pause in there with these little dashes being up on the screen instead of numbers, kind of fucked me up. So yeah, what a great fight, man. If you haven't seen this fight, make sure you go back and watch it. One of those fights that some of these rounds just 1 or 2 big punches or 1 or 2 counter punches was the determining factor of the round. Both of these guys great counter punchers. Both of these guys know each other so well. They know what they're gonna do. So a great fight to watch, and a great fight for the league. So congratulations to both guys, and I hope to see this fight again in the future. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a rematch in the making, all the way back from the old system in the league. All the way back when your boy Big Lox 83 was the WBC champion. He took on El Lanto 209, a guy that has been, a great fighter in the league, often controversial. Has been in the league, out of the league, in the league, out of the league. Has had some problems with HC, and has had some controversy surrounding him. But it is also a great fighter. So these guys went and put it down for the WBC championship. El Lanto 209 was able to defeat Big Lox 83, but it was not without controversy. Big Lox in his prior title defense had went up against Doc Doser, and Doc Doser ended up, interestingly enough, interestingly enough, accused Big Lokes of spamming. Now, Big Lokes does not want to be a fighter that has anything to do with spamming next to his name. So, I think he tried too hard to change the way he fought in that WBC championship fight, and ended up costing him. El Wanto 209 was able to take the victory from Big Lokes 83. So in this fight right here, Big Lokes, while he's probably over it, there's got to be some part of him that wants to rectify that loss. So yeah, that's what I was getting at. So let's go ahead and get into this fight. El Wanto comes out, wins the first round. Big Lokes wins the second, wins the third. El Wanto wins the fourth. Big Lokes wins the fifth. El Wanto wins the sixth. And Big Lokes wins the 7th, 8th, 9th, and the 10th to become your winner by decision, 97 to 93. No knockdowns in this fight, just good clean boxing by both gentlemen, and Big Lokes able to take the victory. Great fight, and definitely, anytime either of these guys get in the ring, you're gonna have a great fight to watch. So yeah, moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next one we got for you is Fight Night's Finest versus Beach Cruiser. Fight Night's Finest is the current #1 contender, and this is one of the fights that got him there. Going up against Beach Cruiser, who is a guy that's constantly improving. Every time I fight him, he seems to be better. He even holds a split decision victory over your boy Data Ripon in a prior league fight. So he's nothing to sneeze at by far. So he puts his skills on display against Fight Night's Finest, and unfortunately for Beach Cruiser, just not quite on that level yet, man. Fight Night's Finest comes out, wins the first, wins the second, wins the third, wins the fourth. Beach Cruiser catches his first and only round in the fifth. Fight Night's Finest wins the sixth. Fight Night's Finest wins the seventh, catches a knockdown in the seventh, wins the eighth, catches 2 more knockdowns in the ninth. The third knockdown in which Beach Cruiser does not get up from, making Fight Night's Finest the victor of this match via KO. Very good fight, man. It seems like Beach Cruiser got shut out, but he did have moments in this fight to where he shows his improvement. He shows that he is becoming a better fighter each and every time. So shout out to him, man, and great fight. Moving on, guys. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I have my second title defense for my WBO championship, taking on Iraqi Khad, simply because he was there, he was in the top 10, and he was available, and I haven't been able to find any other defenses this week. So I know Iraqi's a good competitor, and it would be a good fight. So we go ahead and fight. So let's go ahead and go into it. Pretty much a blowout here, guys. I won the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, caught a knockdown in the seventh, won the eighth, won the ninth, caught a knockdown in the 10th, in which he didn't get up from, to be your victor by KO, and retain my WBO championship one more time. I'm still looking to get another title defense in later on tonight against Beach Cruiser, so that'll be 3 for the week, and then my title defense tomorrow will make it 4 this week. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to fight and just fight, and it is what it is. That's one of the main things I didn't like about being champion, is because I only got to fight once a week, and I'm definitely like to fight more than that. So I want to be, when someone says who is a fighting champion, I want that to be Data Ripon who gets talked about. So hopefully I'll be bringing you more good title matches, and yeah, moving on. Alright guys, these next 2 fights were brought to my attention after I had this video majorly done. So we're kind of backtracking. This is Slongcut's second title defense. He's going up against Bandit SKL-404. Dude who was supposed to be fighting me for the WBO, but so apparently he fought Slongcut. Now this video is hard to see, to say the least. It's his first time trying to record, so I don't hold that against him. At least he tried. He showed effort, and that's what matters. So what I can see here, I couldn't bring myself to watch the whole fight with it like this. I can see that Slongcut Slung Cut came out. He won the first, he won the second, he won the third, he won the fourth, he won the fifth. Bandit won the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Slung Cut came back and won the 11th and the 12th. And I believe, I think there was knockdowns on both sides. Like I said, guys, you just have to go back and watch this again. You know, I apologize. You know, this is one of the very few fights that I did not watch the whole way. One, because the video is the way it is, and another because I simply don't have a lot of time at this point. You know, kind of rushing to get through this stuff just to get it done. It's, you know, quite a few fights that have been brought to my attention late after I thought I had everything done, including the rankings ladder that are coming up after this. So, you know, some of the stuff that I say might not mesh, but, you know, we'll get to the bottom of it and we'll get it figured out. Alright, so moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next one we got for you is Fight Night Finest versus Beach Cruiser. Fight Night Finest is the current #1 contender, and this is one of the fights that got him there. Going up against Beach Cruiser, who is a guy that's constantly improving. Every time I fight him, he seems to be better. He even holds a split decision victory over your boy Data Ripon in a prior league fight. So, you know, he's nothing to sneeze at by far. So he puts his skills on display against Fight Night Finest, and unfortunately for Beach Cruiser, just not quite on that level yet, man. Fight Night Finest comes out, wins the first, wins the second, wins the third, wins the fourth. Beach Cruiser catches his first and only round in the 5th. Fight Night Finest wins the 6th. Fight Night Finest wins the 7th, catches a knockdown in the 7th, wins the 8th, catches 2 more knockdowns in the 9th. The 3rd knockdown, in which Beach Cruiser does not get up from, making Fight Night Finest the victor of this match, BKO. Very good fight, man. It seems like Beach Cruiser got shut out, but he did have moments in this fight to where, you know, he shows his improvement. He shows that he is becoming a better fighter each and every time. So shout out to him, man, and great fight. Moving on, guys. Alright, guys, without further ado, here is the league rankings ladder. Last updated 3/12/14 at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you to HC as always. So let's go ahead and take a look at your world champions. Turn up 3000, the WBC, of course. 9 wins, 3 losses, 5 KOs. Been doing great in this league so far, in the new league, man. As much as, you know, he gets on my nerves sometimes, he is a great fighter, and he's proven to be more of a fighter than even I have given him credit for. So, you know, you gotta admit that when you gotta admit that. We'll see how he does this Sunday, though. Data Ripon, of course, here's truly the WBO champion, 8-2, 4 knockouts. Slung Cut 199, your new IBF champion, 6-1 and 3 KOs. Also been doing great since the new league. So let's go ahead and take a look at the contenders rankings ladder. As you guys can see, Fight Night Finest in that #1 spot once again. 4 wins, 0 losses, 3 KOs, 98 points. Great job by your boy. No doubt in my mind, he will be in a title picture soon enough. #2, Beach Cruiser comes out at 3-3-1, 67 points. He's had some up and down fights, but he is a much improved fighter, and I'm not giving up on him in the slightest. #3, Big Lokes 83, 3-0-1, but you guys have seen that you know, he's had a couple more fights that hadn't been added yet, so I'm thinking that he might even be able to give Fight Night Finest a run for his #1 spot, or at least become the #2 contender. But right now he's sitting at 64 points. This league ladder no doubt will be updated soon enough. Ennis Houston coming out at #4 at 7-3 and 4 KOs, 62 points. Ennis Houston, one of those fighters, man, that always, you know, has his up and down moments, but, you know, he's a strong fighter, and he's a beast. AC Carnage, you saw the epic fight with him and Fight Night Finest, coming in at #5, 2-2 and 2 KOs, 58 points. Bandit SKL, the league's favorite shit talker, comes out at 2-3-1, 51 points. Pity Castro, you saw that great fight with him and Big Locks, comes in at 2-4-1, 50 points. 8Z, Henry Zayas, 81, comes out 2 wins, 0 losses, 2 KOs, 42 points.
doing his thing as always. Can't wait to see him get in some more fights. Iraq Dikad at number 9, 3-5-0, 40 points. The Get Hit Man. Haven't seen him in a couple days. I don't know if he's taking a break or what's up. Get at me, bro. 3-4-1, 36 points. Doc Doser comes in at number 11, 5-1-2, 31 points. The only reason he's at number 11 right now is because he challenged Turn Up 3000 and lost, so he's at number 11. Doc Comster, the former IBF champion, 4-1-3 KOs, 29 points. You know, the only reason he's number 12 is because he challenged for the IBF and lost. Number 13, ESP, 4-5-3, 27 points. Came up short against me in the WBO championship match. And after that, you know, there's people that haven't been fighting really. Number 14, Lubriziana, 0-1-0, 24 points. You know, everybody saw last week that he lost to Turn Up 3000. G-Bud 11, 1-0-1, 19. Pandemonium, like to see him get some more fights in as always. 1-0-1, 18. Lamizi 87, still sitting at 0-3-0, 13 points. Loco P420, 0-1-0, 1 point. Militia Matic, still sitting at 19 from his loss to yours truly in the WBO championship match. Taking a break from the league right now, but he's available to spar, so I gotta thank him for doing that. 2-1-1, sitting at 0 points, and the rest of these guys still yet to get a fight in. Taste It is a new guy in the league. You guys have seen the spar, most of you guys have. Definitely a guy to look out for, man. HZ, I gotta tell you, bro, that Antonio is no longer a part of the league. I think I explained that in the last video or the video before that. And number 34 is also a new fighter, Let's Fight Chump. Haven't had the pleasure of getting in the ring with him yet, but I hope to soon. So there you have it. There is your league ladder. And without further ado, here in just a second, we are going to go ahead and get into Sunday night fights. And if I have my way, we are going to have some great fucking fights. We're going to see some veterans return to the title picture, and we will get into that in just a second. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and go into the confirmed fights for tomorrow's Sunday night fights. 2 of them are confirmed right now. I have to, you know, work some kinks out with the third fight. And, you know, this is all last minute. It took us a while to find out exactly who was going to be in these title pictures because the rankings ladder is changing all the time, and, you know, it's not exactly up to date right now. So, and it is pending on finding out what is going on with Turnup's second defense during the week. So yeah, right now we have Turnup, who I believe is a WBC champion. Like I said, we got to get to the bottom of that. He's going to be going up against the number 1 contender right now, which is Fight Night's Finest. That should be a great fight. You know, Turnup is a very defensive fighter. And is great at countering, but also Fight Night's Finest is very good on the outside, very good at countering, but he's also very good at you know, inside fighting, getting in, dodging those shots on the way in, and then landing counters of his own and combinations of his own. So, you know, even though Fight Night's Finest has a loss to Lubriziana and Turnup beat Lubriziana, I still think that Turnup is in for one hell of a fight tomorrow. The second fight that we have confirmed is myself, David Ripplin, the WBO champion, going up against this number 2 ranked fighter, Big Lokes 83. This has been a fight in the making for some time now. It's one of the only elite fighters that, you know, we're 2 of the only elite fighters that have not squared off yet. I've been, you know, we sparred lots of times, we know each other pretty well, but it's never been for a league or a championship fight. I know Big Lock is hungry as hell to become champion again, and you know, I just gotta hope that I'm not the reason that he becomes champion. So either way, it's gonna be a great fight, and I cannot wait. And for the next and final bout for Sunday Night Fights, we have the IBF Championship up for grabs as Slongcut puts his newly acquired IBF Championship against HC Gaming for you. Some of you guys might be saying, well, HC is at number 8. What the fuck, Dave? Well, the update ladder is not completely updated. We've had a lot of fights that have went down in the last 2 days, and a lot of the guys that were above him have no doubt been, sent back to number 10 or below. So that's the way it's gonna go. That's the one I'm calling for right now. It is what it is, man. I hope you guys like these new pictures. HC hooked me up with Photoshop and taught me how to use it a little bit. You can definitely tell the difference between Salon Cut and HZ. Salon Cut is the one that HZ did, and the picture of HZ I had to find for myself, and it was the best one that I could find. I gotta get a better picture of him. A lot of these pictures that have been used on here are from my videos, because some of the guys that use cameras, he only shows like half of their fighter or 3/4 of their fighter. So as I fight more people, the pictures will get better. So there it is. Those are your Sunday night fights. I apologize if this video took so long to get out. I had it completely done, I thought, and I had to add fights afterwards, and then I got it all done again and went to produce it. My computer froze and I forgot to save it, so I had to completely do it over again. So it is what it is, man. I'm doing my best, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out. I hope you guys have good fights. Peace.